10 deadly foods people still eat. What if I told you that some of the most dangerous foods on Earth are sitting on dinner plates right now? Not in a laboratory, not in a poisonous jungle, but in restaurants, markets, and homes around the world. Some of these foods contain natural toxins. Some can become deadly if prepared incorrectly, and others have been eaten for centuries, despite carrying a serious risk. Today, we are counting down 10 foods that can be surprisingly dangerous to eat. And number one might be the most shocking of all because it is a food that millions of people eat every year. But don't worry, this is not about telling you what to eat or what to avoid. It is about the incredible science, history, and traditions behind these foods. So, how can something that looks delicious also be potentially deadly? Let's find out. 10. Ackee, Jamaica's dangerous national fruit. Ackee is one of Jamaica's most famous foods. It's beautiful, tropical, and incredibly popular. But there's a catch. An unripe ackee fruit can contain a natural toxin called hypoglycin, which can cause a dangerous drop in blood sugar. And that's where things get frightening. The fruit has to be properly ripened before it's eaten. When ripe, the fruit naturally opens and reveals its edible yellow flesh. The seeds and certain parts of the fruit must be discarded. When properly prepared, ackee is a beloved ingredient in Jamaican cuisine, especially in the famous dish ackee and saltfish. The texture is soft and slightly creamy, and its mild flavor works beautifully with salty fish and spices. So this isn't a food people simply eat carelessly. Generations of Jamaican cooking traditions developed around knowing exactly how to prepare it. But here's the fascinating part. The same fruit that can become dangerous when unripe is considered a national culinary treasure when prepared correctly. And our next food has an even more unusual problem. 9. Fugu, the fish that can kill. Imagine sitting down at an expensive restaurant and ordering a dish that could potentially kill you if prepared incorrectly. Welcome to Japan's world of fugu. Fugu is the Japanese name for pufferfish, and some species contain tetrodotoxin, an extremely powerful neurotoxin. The toxin can interfere with the body's nerves and muscles. The strange thing, the fish itself is considered a delicacy. Chefs who prepare certain types of fugu in Japan undergo specialized training and licensing requirements. They carefully remove the dangerous organs while preparing the edible portions. The meat is delicate and often served in extremely thin slices. Some people describe it as mild, clean, and subtly sweet. But fugu isn't famous because it tastes incredibly strong. It's famous because eating it comes with an unusual psychological experience. You're trusting the chef completely, and that's part of the fascination. But fugu isn't the only food where preparation makes the difference between dinner and disaster. 8. Cassava, the staple with a hidden threat. Cassava is one of the world's most important root crops. Millions of people depend on it as a source of carbohydrates. It's used in everything from flour and breads to porridges and snacks. But raw cassava can contain cyanogenic compounds that can release cyanide. That sounds terrifying. So why do people eat it? Because humans learned how to process it. Depending on the variety and traditional method, cassava can be peeled, soaked, fermented, dried, or cooked to reduce the dangerous compounds. Different cultures developed their own techniques over generations. In parts of Africa, South America, and Asia, cassava is an everyday food. It's a perfect example of something fascinating about human food history. Sometimes, people don't abandon a dangerous ingredient. They learn how to make it safe. And that knowledge can become part of an entire culinary tradition. But our next food has an even stranger history. Because its danger isn't hidden inside the food, it's actually produced by something living on it. 7. Raw honey. Sweetness with a dangerous side. Honey seems almost impossible to describe as deadly. It's sweet, natural, golden, and delicious. But there's one exception. Raw honey should never be given to infants under 1 year old. The reason is the potential presence of Clostridium botulinum spores. An infant's digestive system isn't developed enough to handle the risk in the same way an older child or adult can. For adults, commercially available honey is generally considered safe. And honey has been treasured for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations used it as food, medicine, and even in religious rituals. Archaeologists have found evidence of honey being valued across ancient cultures. It's one of humanity's oldest sweet foods. So the danger isn't that honey is secretly poisonous to everyone. It's that one innocent-looking food can have very different risks depending on who is eating it. And our next food has a completely different problem. It can look perfectly normal and still contain a powerful natural toxin. 6. Kidney beans, the bean you shouldn't eat. Raw kidney beans are a kitchen staple. They're found in chili, stews, salads, curries, and countless other dishes. But raw or undercooked kidney beans contain a natural protein called phytohemagglutinin. In high enough amounts, it can cause severe gastrointestinal illness. And here's the strange part. Cooking properly dramatically reduces the risk. So a bean that can make you seriously sick when raw becomes a perfectly normal food when properly cooked. This is why food preparation matters so much. For thousands of years, humans have discovered through experience that heat, fermentation, drying, soaking, and other techniques can transform ingredients. Modern science explains why those techniques work, but our ancestors often learned them the hard way. And if you think beans are surprising, wait until you hear about our next food, because this one can be dangerous even after you've cooked it. 5. Green potatoes. Your favorite potato has a warning sign. Potatoes are among the world's most popular foods. Fries, mashed potatoes, chips, roasted potatoes, but sometimes a potato gives you a warning. And that warning is green skin. Green potatoes can contain elevated levels of natural compounds called glycoalkaloids, including solanine. These compounds are part of the plant's natural defense system. Green coloration often develops when potatoes are exposed to light. The amount varies, and not every green potato is necessarily dangerous. But heavily green, bitter, sprouted, or damaged potatoes are a reason for caution. This is a fascinating reminder that plants aren't passive. They have chemical defenses designed to discourage animals from eating them. Humans simply learned how to cultivate, store, and prepare potatoes safely. And speaking of plants with powerful defenses, our next food has a history that goes back thousands of years. 4. Nutmeg, the spice that can become toxic. Nutmeg is one of those ingredients that can completely transform a dish. A little grated over a creamy sauce, a pinch in a dessert, and suddenly the aroma becomes warm, sweet, and almost mysterious. But consuming very large amounts of nutmeg can be dangerous. Nutmeg contains compounds such as myristicin, and excessive consumption can cause serious symptoms. That's why nutmeg is normally used in tiny culinary quantities. And that's exactly how it has been used historically. For centuries, nutmeg was incredibly valuable. European traders traveled enormous distances to obtain spices from Southeast Asia. Wars were fought over control of spice-producing regions. Think about that. A spice sitting quietly in your kitchen was once valuable enough to influence global trade and empires. But our next food is even more surprising because it became famous not for being dangerous, but for being almost impossible to prepare safely without specialized knowledge. 3. Blood clams, a delicacy with a risk. In some parts of Asia, blood clams are considered a delicacy. They're named for the red liquid found inside the meat, caused by their hemoglobin-rich tissues. When properly cooked, they're enjoyed for their unusual texture and rich flavor. But there's a serious issue. Raw or undercooked shellfish can carry harmful bacteria and viruses. Blood clams have been associated with foodborne illnesses, which is why proper preparation matters enormously. This is one reason raw shellfish has always been something of a gamble. The ocean may look clean, but shellfish are filter feeders. They constantly filter water through their bodies. If harmful microorganisms are present in the environment, they can accumulate in shellfish. So the danger isn't necessarily something you can see. There may be no strange smell, no strange color, nothing obvious. And that's what makes food safety so fascinating. Sometimes the most dangerous part is the thing you can't see. But our final two foods take this idea to another level. 2. Casu marzu, the cheese that moves. Imagine opening a wheel of cheese and seeing tiny larvae moving inside it. You might immediately close the lid, but in Sardinia, Italy, this controversial cheese became part of culinary tradition. It's called casu marzu. The cheese is intentionally allowed to develop with the help of cheese fly larvae. The larvae break down the cheese, creating an extremely soft texture and a powerful flavor. To some people, it's a fascinating traditional food. To others, it's absolutely horrifying. Food regulations surrounding casu marzu can be complicated because of potential health risks. And that's what makes this cheese so interesting. It challenges our idea of what food is supposed to look like. For most people, cheese should be smooth, creamy, and motionless. Casu marzu says, not necessarily. But if you think this is the craziest food on our list, you haven't met number 1. Because our final food has a deadly reputation that has existed for centuries. 1. Fugu, the ultimate high-risk delicacy. And here we are, the food that has become almost synonymous with dangerous dining. Fugu, yes, we've already talked about it, but now we can understand why it deserves the #1 spot. Certain pufferfish contain tetrodotoxin, a poison powerful enough to cause paralysis and potentially death. And the frightening part? Cooking doesn't simply destroy the toxin. The danger comes from removing the poisonous parts correctly. That's why specialized training is so important. In Japan, fugu has become more than a meal. It's an experience. The chef carefully prepares thin slices of fish, often arranged beautifully on a plate. The flavor itself is subtle, but the story behind the food makes every bite feel different. You're not eating something dangerous because you want to take a reckless gamble. You're experiencing a dish built around centuries of knowledge, regulation, and culinary skill. And perhaps that's the biggest lesson from our entire journey. Dangerous ingredients don't always disappear from human diets. Sometimes we learn how to live with them. So there you have it, 10 foods with surprisingly dangerous sides, from ackee and cassava to kidney beans, green potatoes, nutmeg, unusual shellfish, and the legendary fugu. These foods remind us that eating is much more than simply putting something in your mouth. It's knowledge, it's culture, it's tradition, and sometimes it's science. The biggest surprise might be that several of these foods aren't inherently bad. The danger often comes from how they're grown, stored, prepared, or consumed. And that's exactly what makes food history so fascinating. So now I'm curious, which food surprised you the most? Would you ever try fugu? What about casu marzu? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the world's most fascinating foods, hit like, share this video with another food lover, and subscribe to Deep Drop Gourmet. Turn on notifications because we're going to keep exploring strange foods, forgotten recipes, street food legends, and incredible culinary traditions from around the world. Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep tasting the world's incredible flavors with Deep Drop Gourmet.